Personal background. Nero Blackstone was a talented illusionist and magician who once achieved great fame. On stage, he embodied the archetypical magician, a charismatic man who captivated audiences with his craft. Despite his outward successes, Nero projected the impression of a mystical genius engaged with the supernatural. He dressed in elegant, almost Victorian attire, reminiscent of ancient magician traditions, and often wore a mask that reflected both his dark personality and his intent to keep secrets. Yet behind the scenes, Nero was a fallen man. His fame was waning, and he increasingly found himself cornered. Financially ruined, he had nearly destroyed his career through poor investments and a lack of new, groundbreaking illusions. Nero lived in the past, desperately clinging to his former glory. Entanglement in criminal activities. A significant part of Nero's tragic downfall was his greed and desire to conceal his dire situation. He took on enormous debts to maintain his lifestyle and attempt to regain his fading fame. These debts eventually led him into a dependency on illegal dealings and shady figures. To pay off his debts, Nero resorted to insurance fraud as a last resort. He saw only one solution: the death of his own wife. Although his wife was unaware of Nero's problems at the time, she had financially supported him. Nero planned to murder her to collect the insurance money and thus free himself from his predicament. In a dark moment of betrayal and despair, Nero killed his wife. He staged the murder as an accident, hoping no one would see through his true intentions. The death of his wife was supposed to save him, but in reality, it only entangled him deeper in debt and moral decay. Psychological state. After murdering his wife, Nero began to spiral into a downward cycle of self-deception and paranoia. While outwardly he mimicked the stoic magician, he was tormented internally by guilt and the persistent fear that his crime might be uncovered. The dark secrets surrounding Nero began to erode his psyche. Nero's fascination with the supernatural and mystical, which once fueled his magic, morphed into an obsession. He increasingly believed there were higher powers influencing his fate. In his despair, he began to delve deeper into dark arts and occult rituals to gain control over his destiny and possibly achieve redemption from his guilt. This obsession also served as a coping mechanism, allowing him to shield himself from the reality of his actions. Connection to the Shadow Man. Nero's descent into darkness was accelerated by the arrival of the Shadow Man ***, one of the central antagonistic figures in the zombie universe. The Shadow Man, an apothecon acting as a manipulative and corrupting force in Dimension 63, played a crucial role in corrupting Nero. He exploited Nero's despair, guilt, and greed, pushing him to participate in occult rituals. The Shadow Man promised Nero, like the other protagonists in * Shadows of Evil, redemption from his guilt and a fresh start if he performed certain dark rituals. What Nero did not know was that he and the others were victims of a larger manipulation. The rituals they performed allowed the Shadow Man to bring the apothecons into Dimension 63, unleashing chaos, character development, and moral conflict. Nero is a character plagued by contradictions. On one hand, he possesses the arrogance of a man who considers himself special, someone who understands the supernatural and can wield it to his advantage. On the other hand, he is internally broken, torn by guilt, and constantly searching for a way to overcome his past. His story illustrates a man who has been pulled into the abyss by external circumstances and internal weaknesses. Throughout the game, Nero is confronted with the consequences of his actions and struggles to regain control over his own destiny. His involvement in the occult rituals and collaboration with the other characters, Floyd Campbell, Jessica Rose, and Jack Vincent, demonstrate that he is seeking forgiveness and a way out of his predicament. Despite his dark past, a spark of remorse and the desire to make amends remains, even as it remains uncertain whether he can ever fully achieve this.